Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. This should all look very familiar because it's still the same micro nation that we started. That is the ship from thumbnail at the end of the last episode, and this is the area of concern again today, because today we want to actually add in all of the industrial pieces to make this work, then get all the utilities set up, and hopefully figure out where all the harbors go and where all that stuff gets imported and use the right units. We're probably going to add a few mods here and there just because space. Well done. Wonderful. Here we are. Let's do the thing that we need to do. The first item on my list is I don't feel super confident that the Okian supermarket is going to be sufficient in size anymore, simply because it always, every single time, it bites me, and that is not a good biting. I did turn all of the mods on that we have available, just in case you're curious, because I want to make sure that we can get all the things in that we will require to make all of this work. And, well, obviously it doesn't fit into the gap anymore that I left here, but we can fix that probably easily, because all we really need is a road connection right here, and that feels good. I think it was the pub right next to you, and if that road comes down just a tiny bit, I think we're okay with that. For now, you can probably run this road a little cleaner to where we need to go, like that, kind of, like this. There you go. Now you're doing it. Beautiful. And then if we really wanted to, the building to... What is this? Accounting office. Yes. Can also get just connected to something. Then we have a nice open spot right here. And let's add our booze pub back in a different location. You do have to get delivered to. So I don't think I want to keep you too far away from our initial location. That should be fine. Why am I doing this? Because I'm very much anticipating to add a couple more buildings, a couple more Nopo flats. This is why I don't like adding the mods, because loading of just those menus takes a lot longer than it usually does. Let's add 2 more just to make me feel better. I don't know 100% that we're going to need them, but having them will make me feel better. So that's what's going to happen here. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. You're doing great. Yes, excavators, you're doing great too. I am done. Wonderful. Where is our helicopter? You are currently parked somewhere, potentially. You have another excavator on board. Good. Where are you? Why aren't you nearby? Are you flying in? Or oh, you can't leave because there's not another excavator sitting there that will let you do the thing. That's fine. How about you just go? Good. Yeah, it's just... We talked about that before. The vehicles that fit onto a space have a lot of air, and therefore the space that's available for vehicles is not full. So if there's not another vehicle that you can load, you're not going to fill up. It's a little silly, but I think it's good enough. Let's see what we're going to do next. Obviously, we need power for all of these guys. Should we do the power plant next? Yes. I looked around, and I did not find exactly what I wanted. And I'm a little sad by that. I haven't looked super deep everywhere, but this is our normal coal power plant. It produces about 40 tons of pollution a year for 23 megawatts. Look at the circuit breaker. Don't look at the other numbers because that gets confusing. Trust me. Which is not great. We have this gas power plant that uses oil, that produces less megawatts and a little less pollution, but not a lot less. But this would be appropriate and could be nice, but I don't like the footprint of it. So I started looking down the list of items that we already have, and we have this coal power plant for 28 tons of pollution a year with 18, well, not 18, but with 15 megawatts, which is probably sufficient. And I think I'm going to pick this one. I'm just not 100% sure where it's going to fit, but there's a lot of other stuff in here. Some of them just produce way too much power for what we need to produce in our situation, and that's okay. Some of them looked really cool. Where's this old power plant that I had? This one. I actually kind of like this one. The only problem I had with that power plant is the amount of pollution that it spits out. For half the production, we're only losing 4 tons a year, which is really not good enough. So I think we're just going to go with this guy, 28 tons of Pollution, we're probably going to run this at 2/3. So I hope that means we will be okay in terms of distance to these guys. And we should actually math out the distance, otherwise I'm going to regret not doing this sooner. This 500 meters, that's a little too close. 700 meters would be better. If we can actually put the heating plant somewhere in this sector, we will be in a better spot. But we also have to worry about transporting all the stuff back here. But yeah, I think the plant, the power plant, doesn't matter how much we produce. If we just do half, 500 meters may not be good enough. So I will keep you away, especially since we're combining pollution from the heating plant that we already have sitting here with the pollution from the power plant. And that is not going to end well. Trust me, I've seen it. So yeah, we're just going to plop this one here. I will flip you around because I want the road connection ideally on the other side. There we go. And you're just going to be part of this guy. And if you want to supply a little bit of power to that tiny mine up there, I think that's fine. And this should make sure that we don't just die on the island when we have a little too much, you know, pollution. Pollution is good. Pollution is good for everyone. Everyone should have more pollution. No. But this is fine. This is our local connection. We're just going to have a lot of conveyor belts here. I've already made peace with that. That is going to happen, and there's nothing we will do about that. So don't worry about it too much. But we need to actually make sure that we spread out our material enough. There was one power plant that uses coal ore instead of coal. And actually, maybe let's look back at that. Is that cheating? I don't think so. And what's this one? Produces 58 megawatts, though. That is a problem. It's actually a humongous plant. Otherwise, it will be an interesting addition to the power that we want to run here. So just want to throw that out there. There are some mods for this that we could probably use, and then I could actually connect this to what the mines collect instead of what the processing plants would bring to the table. And that was interesting. I obviously didn't go for it, but it was something that I was considering just for a little while. But let's get a quick storage set up down here because we need to start on the next thing. And the next thing is actually getting all the coal everywhere. I am assuming that with a little bit of work, I will be able to get all the conveyor belts in here that could potentially ever need, and then connect them in here. We have an easy 2 connections into the storage right now. The third one over here is a little more out of the way, but not impossible. But we have an easy 2 connections there. We could... Oh, I like the 3 connections better. Okay, there are 2 on this side. Yes, you just have to turn this guy around. I don't like to have to split them out this way, but this may actually be worth it down the road. So speaking of road, the road is going to be a little bit in an awkward situation, but I think we'll be fine. Now all you have to do is make sure that you can actually fit in there, which you couldn't yet. So we'll move you out just a little bit and then try to fit you in here. And there's our road connection for whatever needs to happen here. I don't know what that is, but there's a conveyor belt right here that we do want to get in, well, whenever appropriate. And with the road connection the way that it is right now, it's probably not going to happen. Okay, this is the last time I'm going to rebuild that, I think. I don't know. Up. Yep, up nice and high. Road connection goes into that direction already, which is nice. Actually, I want this one to be one of the outside loops. So let's build you. I just want the first conveyor. I don't need the second conveyor up here because this is the wrong connection anyways. And then we'll do this. Beautiful. Everything is working exactly like it was laid out to be, even though there's a kink in that piece of the road, which is obviously not good enough. Excuse me, game. The game is just like, what are you doing? I'm trying to not crash, and you're making this really, really hard. Okay, let's make you a little bigger. Can't make you a little bigger. Let's make you a little longer. Okay. I just didn't like the kink that was there. Okay, there's still a kink here. It's gonna be fine now. That's fine. And then this one gets a connection too. Beautiful. Everything is perfect. That's our first connection for the conveyor belts, and we just have to make all the other ones work too. And we will. But yeah, it'll be fine. Good. Let's add the coal processing plants. We have heat now. We have heat. We have power, which are really the main things. The rest will come when we allow it to come out here. Coal processing plant, please and thank you. These, I am really just planning on running them like input on one side and output on the other side. These, I think I cannot connect more than 2 to a conveyor engine. I'm assuming the max throughput was 600 tons a day. Like time frame, whatever that time frame is. So I need to make sure that we have reasonable connectivity to all of those, but I think this should be fine. Let's see how this plays out. Let's turn the F2 with the overlay on. Let's see how this plays out. Keep them nice and close together. The less bus routes that we have to run here, the better for us. But yeah, we will need, I'm actually going to offset this by a little bit. We will need 2 conveyor engines in and 2 conveyor engines out. Otherwise, none of this is going to work. I think I will have a nice bus connection running on the north side of all of this. We'll see how that plays out. But now we have a chance, at least. 4 is not enough. 4 is enough for 2. You need 8. I do. I do. That's stupid. Is that too big for the little area that you have available here? Yeah, well, we knew that before. We're trying to produce a humongous amount of coal on this little island. That is the main purpose of this whole thing, which is also why we try to keep the pollution as far away from the city as possible, which then translates to these little coal processing plants don't have a lot of pollution. They only have 12 tons a year. Yes, even if it accumulates, I'm assuming that everything up to here is going to be a red cloud, but then once we get closer to the city, especially to the housing units, that's not going to be a problem. And if it is a problem for these 2 buildings, it will just get moved to the north side, and it will be fine. Maybe. Probably. Hopefully. But yeah, this is the first 4. Nice. Do 4 more, I guess. Okay. Yeah, you don't really have a choice. Otherwise, your whole plan that you already have in motion is not going to work out. So, may as well bite the bullet there. And then that means we need 4 separate engine connections to get all of this loaded up and filled with, you know, the coal ore that you're hoping for here. Let's just keep building it and we'll see how it comes out, because at some point we should know something. Okay, you will always run 2 at the same time. Yes, I think this is a situation where we actually may want to get to use these multi-conveyors. Not, well, kind of, yes, but not in the way that you want them to, because I need another input on the left side of the tower so we can actually pull from there and there at the same time, which I want to say I have seen those before. Where are my multi-towers? Not the rail ones. There's a roadside one. Yes, maybe, kind of. This is 1 in, 2 out. That's not helping. I'm pretty sure that they exist. Road and 2 rail. Road crossing. No, this is 3 in, 3 in, 3 out. That's not helping. This is also 3 in, 3 out with some rail. Okay, there's so much modature happening here. That's getting a little crazy. This one could help, but you're just on the wrong side in terms of road connection. 1 in, 3 out, 3 in, 1 out, 2 in, 2 out, 3 in, 3 out. You're a little wild, but you may be close to what I actually wanted you to do, but not quite yet. You can see what I want, right? I just want another input on the opposite side. 2 in, 4 out. No, but that's a pretty cool dispenser connection. What is this one? 9. 9. Cool. that's super unhelpful for telling me what that's supposed to do. Tower medium. Okay. You have a weird way of rotating, but that's fine. And this would give us a pretty wide open road connection. That's interesting as well, but still not exactly what we wanted. Conveyor high, 1 in, 6 outputs. That's not helping. None of these are helping. The towers are dangerous. I don't like using them. So no on you. Conveyor tower. Looks like it has an in and an out at the same spot. That's also a little scary, so no thank you. And now we have these. Okay. You may run into the situation that we had in the initial... I think we did it for... No, we didn't do it for coal, but we did it for the other guys. And this is... Okay. Just show. We have the luxury of having really long aggregate storages, like extremely long. And these can fill up reasonably fast or slow, whatever we want to do, well, whatever we want to invest in here. We do need a conveyor engine to get them started, but once they are started, we would now be directly connected to the coal processing plants. We can always do 2 together, pretty easy. We can probably even do 3 together in certain places, but I don't even want that because that will cause other problems, most likely. So let's get these in here to have direct storages for the coal. Okay. They cannot have direct connections between the storages themselves, but that's very easy to fix here once we get a minute. Yeah, the excavators are here. The helicopter has not done what I needed you to do. This guy, yes, bring the fuel out because that is the thing that we currently need. You are unable to load that fuel truck. Okay, now we know. now we know. How much fuel do we have left on these guys in general right now? You are empty. Okay, you are not empty yet. So we still have a little bit of fuel. We just have to take them back probably to do the next load, unless we allow a fuel harbor to happen sooner and later. And I actually found a really good connection for that guy. So we'll see how that plays out. But aggregates, yes. Conveyor storage, yes. This will be just the inn. This is the coal ore that we need to store somewhere. And the storage of this thing is just 2,000 tons of gravel. That is fine. That is enough for a couple days. It doesn't have to be much wilder than that. So that feels fine. Okay, moving on. Get a conveyor engine in here. Road connection on the correct side. That's helpful. And then you just have a little bit of wiggle room right there. But as long as you are connected, that's fine. The problem here is this conveyor engine potentially will not allow us to run at 100% of production of 8. That is over 800 tons of coal ore that we need a day. This would very much rely on us not consuming all of it all the time in every single building, but our real goal is to run at 100% most of the time. That's not going to work. You're right. I don't think that's going to work. I think we are going to take a hit on the era of we may produce too much coal ore, but we can consume all of it with one engine. Again, I'm still assuming one engine does about 600 tons, which is 6 of these buildings approximately. So I'm going to take out the last one. That's math. The math is off a little bit now because we should be producing closer to 800 tons of coal ore. No, we're producing a lot more than that, right? Yeah. Thank you. I'm talking about coal transport. That is the output of these guys. That's 120 tons a day. But the real input is going to be 200 tons of coal ore a day. So we can only do 3 per engine. Got it. That is very important. That is extremely important because now we have to readjust this whole section right here. And I think to do that, we're going to have to take this away. Yep. I think my plan didn't get shattered, but it's different. And I like this. I can readjust a couple things on the fly because now it makes a lot more sense if we make these storages connect to 3 at a time instead of 2, which means we're going to have these all blocked into 3s instead of 2s, and maybe this will even look prettier when we're done with it. Highly unlikely, but let's concentrate them a lot tighter together. Like these are production batteries instead of production locations. You don't like that because there's a little mountain there. Okay, that's fine. Well, we'll deal with that. Then let's get 3 more. Get a little bit of space. Offset them a little bit. The offset really doesn't matter. That may make my life easier for pulling out the material again later instead of trying to fit it in a funny way. You may be right. I'm just using my arrow keys to move them, so hopefully it's a little easier to get them aligned. And I think it was. Get the aggregate storage again. You can point that way, and then we need 3 connections out of you instead of the initial 2 that we had. And I don't see a good reason why it wouldn't be able to connect to all of the processing plants from right here. So let's just try to plop you down on this spot. Thank you, game. Very important. Let's look at our numbers while you're saving, and the numbers look okay. Conveyor belt, the first one didn't want to connect to here. That's not surprising, honestly. Hill causing obstruction. Okay, if there's a hill, that is actually a good problem because I don't want a hill here in the first place. It actually lowered into the mountain, which is good news for us because that's a very easy fix. All we have to do is a little bit of this, and it looks like it built a big podium earlier, which we clearly don't need because all we want here is that everything is semi-aligned something. Okay, that feels much better, and then let's get back to our initial storage. There you go. And now make me happy, and hopefully the last one. There's one more conveyor connection here. It's probably really hard to see. That guy is what I wanted. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. That one's in. Okay, let's do the next one, and this one, please, as easy as the first one. I'm going to offset you to the right a little bit. And yes, there is a connection here, but that's not going to do anything because you need an engine to move any of that material. 3 more. Good. They're connected, they're happy, they're good to go. Let's tell them you're good to go. Beautiful. I like it. Next things, obviously, is a central storage, and we're going to do with the 2500 extra. And I'm okay with this. Make sure that you don't overload your connection nonsense. And this one will actually be really nice. This location is good. Obviously, I'm moving the power plant a little away. And I think I've accepted the fact that for the power plant, I need to deliver with a truck versus anything else. And I wanted to see something else on... Is it this power plant? Yes. You can only store 50 tons of coal, which is enough for 3 days. We probably don't need extra coal storage here, but I think I would feel better if we have a little bit of extra coal storage. So we're just going to plan on having coal storage that can handle all of this. Yeah, this is probably the best place for what I can do here, and maybe we can even have a coal storage that's only about 500 tons instead of the at least 1,000 tons that we usually get. Let's see here really quick. I don't want to look too far. 1,000, 9,000, 1,000, 9,000, 800, 100, 1,080, 4,000 tons, 15,000 tons, 3,000, 100, 100, like 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. No. Oh, we're getting close. No, there was a 250 and then it went away. 400. 400 tons of gravel sounds actually wonderful. Yeah, this is pretty much what I want. We just need a little hopper, a little extra hopper that we can fill throughout the year. So then, well, throughout the day, and then we just drop something off there. That's really all we want to get out of this. And because of how you're situated, I guess we can hop stuff into there. Do you have a loading unloading station? I have a feeling you don't even have that. So let's look at that really quick. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? You are this guy. You don't have a storage for or a vehicle parking spot, at least not in the mod. And that's why I don't like using mods, because they do something funny that nobody really wants. We have this guy, which is like for 250 tons, this is probably going to be fine. So let's get you in here. I can actually flip you around a little bit. Yes. Gonna plop you right there. Sorry for zooming in so far. Get you connected, and now we have 300 tons of coal storage here, which is more than a week, which should be sufficient for what we're going to do, because we will fill up this storage first, which will be for heat and for power. And if we don't have coal on this island, nothing is going to work anyway. So if something goes wrong, it just goes wrong, and we just have to deal with it. That should be fine. Okay, I don't hate where we are yet right now. Make this a little more flat. That looks fine. Get you connected to something. Get you connected to something. All of this will be graveled as appropriate later on. So don't worry about that too much. Get that road in there and that road in here. And then this one just connects to whatever you can connect to. So far, so good. Let's get this one assigned. We need to worry about this side as well. And we're really going to do effectively a very similar thing to what we did on the first side, which is try to... throw 2 processing plants into the same storage unit, and then just carry that along with a conveyor engine right behind it. And the output can actually be handled by one engine. So in this case, we don't have to try to make two separate conveyor networks. Yeah, sure. So you'll know what I mean. Like, the output is going to be 600 tons. The input is going to be 1,200 tons. The 1,200 tons we cannot do with one engine, but the input we can't do with 200. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm pretty sure you do. So I'm going to stop talking. But you can go in there. You can go in there. That is close. And I think here we have a different problem because these storages don't elevate the engine connections or the conveyor engine connections, conveyor belt connections. Let's see how this looks, but I have a feeling we have to use engines here and they just have to flow out instead of in, but that's not the end of the world, again, because a single engine, the single point of failure or your point, there's a bottleneck. That's what I was trying to say. Cool. The bottleneck is going to just be in the way. I am pretty sure, yeah, these are not elevated. These conveyor belts that we're getting out of here just are never elevated, and they've never been, so we cannot make those connections very easy. All right, back to what we were doing before. I think I will be a lot happier if I allow myself to use the conveyor overpasses, this one, to get all these things done, because now I have a really easy way of getting a road connection in here and get everything connected in a way that is not super ugly, but also effective enough to get everything to where I need them to go. Whew. How much land are you going to steal? I wasn't planning on taking too much land. Obviously, we just built a little bit that already, cut into the land. No, into the ocean. You gained a little extra land. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Get all of these connected, and the last one up here can probably just connect into this guy, but then you need the 3 outs. Okay. Well, this is 2 ends. Yes. We only have a 2 end. We have a 3 out conveyor and all the other stuff. And this one, I'm assuming the conveyor overpass also has a priority setting that we could use, but I don't see it, so I don't want to assume that we get it. Which means in this case, let's just have the road go down there. Yeah, everything is already connected that way. And then we will have a conveyor engine here. This will be our priority switch. That will just decide where all the stuff goes, and some of it is going to go up here, and some of it is going to go to the storages that will be on that side. So far, so okay. Great. Now we're underwater, and I don't think I can easily put bridges here to, handle this situation. So what we're going to have to do is just get a couple excavators out here and let them do their thing, so we can actually build the land road out here, over road, passing road. I don't even know. What's this called? This is not a pier, obviously. This is not a D, something of D. That was a word. City Skylines uses it a lot. It's not a pier. I can't get to it. Sorry. Maybe next time I get my words together and actually figure out what I'm trying to say. But we're not going to say that. But this is just going to be a road by the ocean, and it's going to get us exactly what we need. Cool. How are you going to do person delivery? Let me put in the roads first and flatten this out a little bit, and I'm going to try to build it in a way that will give me a little extra space so we can more easily insert our bus stops when we need them in just like a minute. Okay, yep, all the way out here, very good. And then you would just kind of continue this, and in the end you will be a road that goes around this whole industrial complex. So far, so good. You would just come up here, yep, like that. Just a little island. There's not that much terrain terraforming mess up that you can actually make happen here, but apparently I still am. So there we go. Those are all connected. So far, so okay. Obviously, these will just be hopefully directly connected into the counterparts that we have down here. And the game likes to play this game where it won't let me build the road right away, but then if you tease it a little bit, you will be able to get all those connections in. And these are clearly extremely important connections, because without these, nothing's going to get done. We're going to cheat a little bit. I'm holding the left shift while I'm dragging this out to get shorter pieces in. And once we have short enough pieces, you can get the final connection there. So far, still so good. These all only require 15 workers per building, which is not a lot. Not a lot at all. Never has been, never will be. It's not a lot of workers that are required for this thing, which is great. How about you get this road connection up to something that will make you happy, which is probably potentially this. And then, yeah, we're going to realign those roads with whatever needs to go on this side. And I really would like this to be our harbor things, but they also have to make sense, and that connection has to actually be good enough. So we're going to have to see how that goes. I see that I have not yet built the conveyor engines here, which hopefully will be easier than the rest. Here's a fear, a simple fear of mine. These conveyor overpasses are built in a way that if there's a fire, you cannot get through them at all. So I do need to find some bypasses, because fire here, if it runs too long, will mean that potentially your there we go, this is what I was looking for, that we will not get power. If we don't have power, we obviously can't do a lot. I'm realizing something else. The way I'm building this, I'm completely ignoring that helicopters can't actually reach absolutely everything in the area that you may want to get to. So there's a high chance that there are things in here that can already not be built by helicopters. So I do need a local construction office for this. Well, maybe you just have to build it in a way where that's not a real problem. So far, this is all green, can be built. This is all green, can be built. This is all green, can be built. So far, it looks like I haven't run into that issue. This is more concerning because there will be short pieces, but we may just use dirt paths to counteract that problem. So we'll see if that works out for us. You could say that I could just build a... and I don't want to... Yes, that's great. No, the engine's actually better for this, I think. You could say that I can just build a direct connection from here, but then this is our bottleneck, and we're not going to get enough material in. So that's not really going to help us the way that I need it to help us. So this is going to be the path that we're taking. I don't dislike this. I don't think you have to be that high because we get the connection anyways. This connection does not need to happen there, because then it will just siphon out of the other local spot, or the other storage, which we also need full. We need all of this full all the time for this to actually run and work. So you go there, you can go there, and you can go there. So we have a combined node. You can go here, and then I do expect this to not cause all that much trouble. There you go. You can go in there. I'm just using that to get a starting point for the roads that we want in here, but this is not actually going to be our connection. You can go this way. Yeah, just build into this mess. Well, we can't build into the mountain, so it's going to build into here. Okay, that's a stupid route, because everything should be centered around connecting to the city aspect of this whole thing, because that is your only source of workers, and we should always keep that in mind when we build. Great. So there's your road, and now you're happy, right? We have great success for... We are getting coal ore in now, and we are taking coal out. That is great. That's gonna work. We also have power over here. Good. You don't have trash set up yet at all, but I do think that the waste guys are actually... Here. Coal processing. You have an internal storage of 32 tons in the garbage container. They will not be separated, which is a little unfortunate, but most of it is mixed waste anyway, so they have to take somewhere. And this guy is going to separate whatever we bring out there. So we're just going to bring everything directly out to here. How many technical service offices are you planning on? Well, you can either do distribution office or technical service, and the way that you have it set up right now feels very much like You need a lot of technical service offices that you currently haven't even planned yet. They probably just have to be placed right here. And then where do they have to drive all the way around the city to get out there? Well, make it make it one large technical service office here that services these 6 buildings. That doesn't feel completely unreasonable. We can add one if we need to. Put one here that can service all the, well, actually put it up here. That can service all the mines. Actually put one here and one here. There's 3 up here and only 1 down there. Okay, 1 up here and 1 here that could also help the city a little bit. That should be fine. And then, yeah, 1 here. Distribution office, technical service office, why should be enough. And we need one for snow and all those things too. But I don't think that is the focus of today. So I think we are pretty okay with this. There's a fly running around somewhere on me, so that's super fun. But yeah, this feels good. So I don't think I want to add trash bins, but if we do want to, I think there will be some options that we potentially can't add with helicopters. So these will just be dirt roads when we get them in. Actually, we're getting lucky. I can put one on each of these locations just fine. So we will do that if that is necessary. Right now I'm just planning on that not being a problem. Good. Very good. So we have this. There are 2 storages that we want here. Well, 3 really. One that just has to run all the storages up there. And this is what I built there? This is the 1,000-ton storage. The 1,000-ton storage will be replaced because I am not confident that that will be enough to run heat and power for a full year if something would happen. So let's just increase that to a little bigger than the 1,000. And actually, this 870, 1950, 32 tons of steel versus 27 tons of steel. Old school? Anyone? Nostalgic? Nostalgia? Anyone? Just a little bit? I like the old school ones, but I don't think we can actually use it the way that I want it to be used. Well, no, I think you can just use it just fine, but that connection is not really playing along. So no, let's just go to 2,000, 2,500, so you don't use the same one again and again and again. Sure. T to flip you, R to rotate you. I want the road connection on this side, but then I want the loading connection really on the opposite side of this, so I'm not sure. Well, this one doesn't actually have to be connected to anything in terms of transport. So that's actually should make it easier. So we should be able to put this one here, get the road connection closer to the road then. You probably won't like what I'm about to do. Let's see, is this going on a podium? Yes, it's going on a podium a little bit. That is not the end of the world. We have that connection right there. That's good. We need a simple truck aggregate loading. Loading, not unloading. There you go. Right here on this side makes enough sense because this one is going to be the one that brings the coal out to the power plant. And we can even put a little distribution office next to you. That would be okay. Then you can just have a very simple road connection. And there's a chance that I'm not even going to turn every single piece of road here into upgraded road. But then again, it's much easier to just upgrade the whole thing instead of individual pieces. But that feels fine so far. Now, we need this guy to continually run out here. And I do like this. You see how much power we already need to run like any part of this little micronation. Yeah, that's what you called it earlier. Is that what you're gonna go with? I mean, I don't see a reason why not. So we can just continue that. Give me a little piece of road, connect to there. Don't overlap with existing construction. Just get out, connect. There you go. It's not complicated. I'm trying to keep this long enough to have a mechanism actually work there and not needing workers. But that feels good. That feels good. Again, there's always a small danger of having these because any fire that breaks out on them has to be put out ASAP. Otherwise, you will run out of... you can't go through it. That's a problem. So 2 fires or an earthquake out here will be pretty bad. And I think I will add, because I just said that, I will add an extra fire station close by to these guys because simply necessary. You should be able to walk yeah, once they're built, there shouldn't be any problem getting out to these buildings, especially since these will all be gravel and not mud. So that is fine. We're going to do the same thing right here. There's my bus stop. Very good. There you are. Cool, you are getting power from there. I'm not sure if that is important, but same thing here. You should have no problem with the footpath connections out there. And I think we can even get you convinced that this is a connection that is worth having. So we may as well get this going right away. This one will definitely be a worker thing that the helicopters can't get to. So let's not connect that one. That may just be a dirt path at some point. Again, I'm trying to avoid getting a real construction office out here. I have considered just putting the helicopters down here, but the helicopters again cannot do the short pieces. So that is something that I consciously have to figure out later on how we're going to build this, especially if I want to be able to repair all of the buildings that exist here. So when we do the utilities in this sector, yeah, they just have to fit. They just have to be built for helicopters. Good. But we're done with that. So coal will be stored there in the beginning for this island only and nothing else. Yeah, there's a coal storage now in the middle of town. But I think you'll be fine. I think they'll be just fine because it will get us all the workers and everything else that needs to happen with that. This one may not be able to get a helicopter out here. No, you can. You can. You can. All of this looks pretty reasonable for what I need to do. So that's great. Now we're going to start building those soon. Yeah, other storage. This one will be for the actual, and I'm not going to use a humongous storage from a mod. I'm actually going to use them like this. This one will be the leftover at this point for the coal that does not have to be kept on the island. So it should be relatively simple. I am using the wrong hotkey for gravel instead of for dirt or mud. So yeah, you have to come up here. I will try to not get into my own way too much because we will need to utilize the water space that we have for all types of things. But first storage right there. Okay. I am thinking 2 storages. Okay. Give me a conveyor engine in between here. Honestly, I'm going to use a lot of this because I do want the extra road connections when they are appropriate. And then another one here. This will give us 10,000 tons of total stored. Actually, gonna put you there. No, I will like you here. 10,000 tons of total stored coal when we're done with this, which is nice. I'm actually going to follow the terrain a little better. There you go. And then I would like to hook this up to 2 different harbors. One will be connected to here, so that no, actually. This one will be the primary harbor. Primary harbor. Wow. I'm going to hook up this one, and that will be utilities for the island. That will be all the power and heat. I will probably add a coal power plant on the island somewhere, but this will provide to all of those stations that need coal that are not production. And then this one will just get all the rest. And we're just going to use a Lubina or something a little smaller to drive those things around, and I think I like that. So that means if we ever don't have ships here, this thing will fill up. If we do have ships here, the conveyor engine should pull out of here and push into there. So this one should be more full more often than this guy. This is just the leftover and the extras that we potentially have. And there's maybe a way to connect something here to make a redundant storage right behind it. But again, I don't know how I need to use the back of this whole connection yet. Aggregate loading, no mods. Not a single one. There may be some in the other harbors that can take aggregate, but yeah, I don't have any special ones. These are both seeming to be the same thing. No, aggregate for loading and aggregate for unloading, so very boring. This is our connection. Go right here. As you can see, I won't be able to get my road connection anywhere. I do need fuel connections somewhere, and all of that is super fun. But yeah, I just need to move this guy out just a little bit, which I really thought we didn't have a bad coastline, but apparently well, we need a little more room to do what I want to do here. I'm going to take back a little extra space on this side, and then, well, with the conveyor belts, that we're going to have to build here. I don't think I will be able to run a very close road next to the storages because of the conveyor belts. So let's see how we can connect these in a satisfying manner. Yes. I think you will appreciate if you don't go too close to all of this. But yeah, this should be fine. I don't think the triple connections actually do make any difference. So we're going to leave that alone, this alone. Construction Office 4, you do have access to that. That's very good. Dirt road connection, you can come out this way and kind of go in there. If we make this, yeah, that's the scary part. I don't want to do that yet. We're going to connect this when it's appropriate. It's not right now. Okay, so that is the export. No, that's the production. I don't think I will have that much coal to export, and if we do, I'm going to export it from the other coal harbor, not from this one. There's just more room for that. Let's do this again with the few excavators that we have. This is coming together nice. I know that this is just mostly coal and we haven't connected the coal mines just yet, but overall I expected this to be a lot more fight and a lot less coming together, but I gotta say I'm pretty happy with what we are getting right now. So let's just hope that I didn't just jinx it, which I probably did, to be very honest and very fair, but it'll be great. Yes, if I can move you over just a little bit, I'm trying to save a little bit of space when I can, so this makes me feel good. There's nothing that has to be in between here. We can just, well, there needs to be a fuel storage somewhere here anyways. But now we have, this is, let's call it that, export, industry 5, industry 5 tree, industry 5 industry, yes, and this is going to be export utilities. Okay, if you want to do capitalized for both, maybe you can be a little more consistent. Export. Cool. So now I hope I remember what I mean by that. But that is the main stuff that we get out of this. Should I put a repair station on here? No, because that would mean we have to maintain a constant supply of steel, a constant supply of all the other stuff that we already need for the city, and I would like to keep that as minimal as possible just to keep things moving, hopefully smoothly, but we'll see what that actually means. Moving on, there are other things that we need on the island, and I will plan on just not doing a construction office on here. That is my goal, that is my hope. And if I do need one, I probably just have to bring in the material with a helicopter. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So let's figure out the rest. The first thing, there are non-burnable materials that come out of this guy, and we have to move that somewhere. That has to be moved with waste chips, which has to be a mod. There are none in vanilla, so get ready for that. But then I think, I'm trying to think here. We're going to need an aggregate loader, and we're going to need a normal cargo harbor. Those are the two I think that we will need, because aggregate loader is for construction waste and metal scrap. Both of those need that. And I think for right now, we'll just plan on exporting all that trash. I'm not going to keep it here. Everything that goes on a ship will get exported, so we don't have to worry about any fallback on those. So that feels good. Yeah, let's set this up. F2, yeah, nice steep coast right here. Perfect spot for it, but honestly right here looks like a pretty good spot. I'm trying to keep it pretty close to where the pollution, well, not the pollution, but where the waste is going to get produced, because the bottleneck is going to be our transport and nothing else. And I would like to not use the 24 or 36 tonner waste trucks that we can use. I just feel like they make waste a lot easier than what I would like it to be. So let's see what we can do here. I don't think we need a big harbor. These are all 239 meter long boats. This one is a fishing port. That's nice. I like that fishing port. Can we make this a waste station? I think before you make that decision, you should look at what the waste chips actually are, because you haven't played with them before. So if I click on this, actually lets me do that. Show all, that's fine. We have only 8 groups, and we have garbage, SCO. You are 55 meters long. Good, because this is a normal vanilla ship, which I would like to use. 245 tons of any of the mixed waste. actually feels really good. OBC, hopper ship waste. Yes. I may actually use this one for the export from the south side. That will be pretty cool because it's significantly bigger and therefore better, right? But yeah, there's a garbage vehicle here. There's the Barcus. You cannot handle garbage. Motor barge, aggregate, tanker. Nope. Nothing there. There was an aggregate one that we could use. This is a nice tanker. Honestly, like that one. I don't see another trash ship that I want to use right now. Steel. Yeah, they're just all the same. Oh, there's another one. You're 68 meters long. Much bigger capacity. This could be good, but it also means it takes longer to then come back. So that may not be the best option. And I'm pretty sure all of our waste ships will be one type only. They will not allow us to mix the waste. Hold on. Hold your horses. The only thing we have to transport is plastic. Plastic could also be just... Plastic waste can be burned, right? Ooh, okay. I'm thinking about a lot of things here, and I'm probably just confusing myself. But incinerator, you can burn plastic waste. Perfect. We just have to bring it out there. So the only thing that we cannot handle from the waste, separation, everything else, would be the construction waste and the mixed waste. That's the only thing we really have to get out. All the plastic waste we just have to move straight to the incinerator, which is already directly connected, so we may not even need a vehicle to get that done. So we just have to pull out all the construction waste and metal scrap, which are two aggregate storages. I'm glad I thought about that. So sadly we need another aggregate storage loader thingy that would go something like this. And with that information, oh my goodness, with that information we may be able to do something even cooler, which is, yes, more conveyor engines and more conveyor belts, but this may actually be super useful. So you would, no, it's not too steep, it's fine, just trust me. Left shift. Connect this one, left shift, come up here, F4, turn off snapping. There you go, you're doing it. And now, I saw a green one. There you go. This is just a small connection. You don't have to do anything fancy here, so you'll be fine. But we can get you out there. Obviously, this is a pretty steep thing, but I think we can make this work. I would really like to have a smaller aggregate harbor. Obviously, there's probably a mod out there that would make it smaller. Oh, you need a storage. You also need a storage for both of those of about 1,000 tons. Okay, where are you going to put those? Because that will determine where you're going to put the rest. If you want to store them, you actually have to split them out. Yes, that too. So give me a conveyor engine. And we already know that... let's see here. Pressing the wrong buttons. There we go. We already know that we will produce... Honestly, I'm probably just going to push it closer to here because there's already a flat spot. Can you go up higher? Yes, you can. And then this is probably the end of what you can reach. That's fine. What am I saying? I am trying to say that we already know what waste we're producing. We do know that we will produce metal scrap and construction waste when we do this. That's more a given than anything else at this point. So... we just have to plan for that. So we have those two that need to come out here and need to be stored. Now, can I store... Flip you around, rotate you, and I would like the other side of the storage of the conveyor engine actually to come in here. If you can reach that, there's a little bit of terrain in your way, I'm sure. Let's do this. It could also just be the building that's in the way because these buildings are not great at the connections that they say they can have. Yeah, that one can go in there, but that one can't go in there. So you realign you a little bit. Yes. T, RR, rotate you. That looks fine. And then, yeah, we do want that connection. I don't like that the road connection is on the side that it is. So how about we can flip you again, rotate you, and then have you here. That looks okay if it will actually connect where it says it will. It did connect where it said it will. Wonderful. To make my life easier, let's have the road connections both face the same direction. This is not going to work because you have no good way of exiting the storage that we have there. So that's a no. We need the outs, the outputs on the opposite side of this. That was the main problem. Okay, we can figure this out. This is gonna work. Yeah, you go in there. Very good. Other storage, this one should be easy. We're just gonna have to flip you around to have the road connections on the other side. Oh, come on. You were already trying to build this earlier. There you go. That's the spirit. That should be fine. Road connection, as long as you can connect to something, will be good. This just has to be a dirt road at that point. Okay. Connect you, and then these will be the storages of what we obviously need to connect here, and then we just need to get our ship aggregate loading, which will be this guy. Ideally, you connect to both. Excuse me. Ideally, connect to both of those storages right away. I'm not sure that we're going to get that, but oh, this would be really cool if we can put you right here. This will be a great spot for you. We have excavators. Use them. All we need is a little bit of extra land. The road connection was also on the correct side right away, so I feel pretty confident that this is going to be fine. We just have to make a relatively straight little bit here, and then we should be able to place that thing just okay. Obviously, we're not going to get into all of the utilities today, and we're not going to get into constructing, because I don't want to or need to start constructing any of this until we are 100% certain that what we have planned will actually work. Right now, I don't know that that is the case. So we have a little bit more work in front of us. Maybe next episode we can get all of that done. I'm not convinced nor convinced otherwise that that will or will not happen. So very committal over here, but I like how this is going so far. And again, this is not the challenging part. It is not hard to plop down a bunch of buildings, even on an island, because we don't need to care about all that much. We can just say, yep, let's just set this up, and then we're good to go. We need to care about actually keeping the people alive that we send out to this mini republic once that becomes a real thing. Let's see, can I get you out of here? I think I can. Yeah, it felt like I could. So that's connected, and then this one just gets a special connection to the road. And we haven't even taken up all that much space, which is good on a small island, because we want to keep the space available as much as possible for all the things that we forgot that we didn't do yet. And hey, look at that, we left that little little lake thing over here, exactly where it was with all the trees around it. Now, it would be cool if the game has more water dynamics, where we can just fill this one actually up with more water and stuff, but that's not going to happen today. So, what do we still need? We still need all the materials, all the resources that the city will require. That is a warehouse and a cold storage, 100% very important. We still need a fuel harbor, and the fuel harbor, I actually found a really cool mod that I just want to use that now. Really cool is probably overselling it, but I liked it because it's a single small harbor that can go right here, and it can actually handle relatively reasonable sized ships as long as it can get in here. 90 meters. I don't want a big ship to come out here and service this this part. And as you can see, it's actually having a little pier harbor go out there that hopefully doesn't confuse the ships when they actually have to do this. But yes, I like that connection, because this one is a short connection again to the road that sits right there. I don't want to get that one in the wrong way, but what we can do is actually collect the oil and fuel. And now here is the thing where we can show that we're actually I'm trying to say a lot of ships are going to go through here, so we need to have multiple oil connections or oil storages, which I like that idea. I just don't know if it will translate really well to what I want to do here, but I think it will. Let's get the actual oil pipe, or oil pump. It's not a pipe. We're not going to have any in. Well, the distribution office may care that you deliver fuel there. No, I think the oil ships will actually deliver straight into the harbor when they drop off their stuff, so I don't think I have to worry about that. Again, we have our road connections here. You and you, if you just want to connect to the same thing, that will make my life easier down the road. Cool. And then we need about 2 storages. I think 3,000 tons of oil will say, hey, was serious about a lot of ship traffic here, so better watch out. 3 would be overkill, in case you're wondering. That looks good. That looks good. We do want oil pickup to be handled probably in an oil loading and unloading. This one should be more than sufficient for that behavior. There's not anything else. Flip this around. There we go. There's an... Oh, and you still need an engine to actually handle this. There's not anything else that would come, like, be here traffic-wise. So I think this is a relatively safe setup, even if I make this a little tighter. But that looks good. Now we just need to actually collect the stuff. Do you want to go underground right away or what? I think I want to go underground just because of how all of this is set up. Okay. Do that one. Do this one. Watch out for the space that you actually require here. That feels okay. That short piece is probably going to stay dirt road forever. Forgive me. You go there, underground me, and you go here. Can you go straighter? No, you can just go longer. That's cool. But there's the pump that gets all our connections in here, and I do like that S-curve a little better than the alternative. And yeah, now we have oil here, and we can also use the connections that we probably should pump it into there directly, but the distribution office that will be somewhere nearby is going to handle that. I said something about the oil distribution, and I completely ignored that we still need to get citizen needs, but I feel like citizen needs should just go out here. There's a lot of flat space that we can use and deliver all our stuff in, and there's less traffic on this side than on this side overall. So I am pretty happy with the development so far. Obviously, we need a third part to flesh this out, but I think we're on a good path. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Again, there's more next time, and I will see you when I see you. And until then, play along, and hopefully you have fun. Bye-bye.